Let's begin with the most jarring part of this entire saga, the fact that Nicole, a single mother who had only recently moved to a new neighborhood to start afresh, is now living in fear. Not online fear, not the kind of digital drama we've come to expect from TikTok spots. No, this is real life fear. Fear for her safety, fear for her child, all because of one neighborhood gathering that turned from friendly to frightening in a matter of minutes. Nicole appeared in a now viral video, visibly broken down. Her face was puffy from crying. Her voice, although steady, carried the kind of raw pain that only comes from betrayal and emotional exhaustion. Since she shared her experience about the Hicks family, who she says humiliated her during the 4th of July party, things have only gotten worse. Instead of resolving the issue privately, Nicole has been forced to go public with escalating details because the retaliation has not stopped. And here's what makes it even more terrifying. These threats aren't just coming from strangers behind keyboards. They're happening offline at her local grocery store, school events, and even around her own home. People she sees face to face are giving her looks, whispering, or worse, spreading misinformation about her and her son. The name that keeps getting weaponized against her? Sheriff Jeff Edds of Scott County, Virginia.
So I do have something I want to say, and it's directed directly to the Scott County Sheriff's Department. If you had nobody come to the scene or were involved in the incident, then why do I have videotape of the state police showing up because you had summoned them to my property? That's a big question I have. The other thing is, I am extremely curious in knowing if you happen to figure out who called, since it was so serious to send special investigators to my house and it was so important to talk to my husband. I'm very curious. What have you done for this situation since then, since you're not involved in everything? What's going on?
Let's rewind to where this all began. Nicole, a single mother looking to build community and make her new house feel like home, was invited to a neighborhood 4th of July block party. The invitation came from the mother of her son's best friend, a seemingly kind and welcoming neighbor who knew Nicole was new to the area and eager to connect. It was a kind gesture, and Nicole embraced it with open arms. She did not show up empty-handed. She carefully prepared a homemade antipasto salad, one of her personal favorites, filled with fresh ingredients and presented in a beautiful serving bowl. She wore a modest, cheerful outfit and brought with her not just a salad, but a genuine desire to bond with others. Nicole's intention was simple: to be a part of the neighborhood, to let her son see that they were settling into a safe, friendly space. But what happened next was the opposite of neighborly. As she stepped into the Hicks home, the main venue for the gathering, she immediately sensed the tension. Jack Hicks, one of the hosts, gave her a look that was unmistakably cold. Without even acknowledging her, he stormed past and reportedly began complaining to his mother. Before Nicole could even process what was going on, Stacia Hicks entered the room and confronted her with no civility, no patience, and no warmth. Stacia harshly told Nicole to leave, not in a hushed whisper, not in a discreet aside. It was a loud public scene. She acted as if Nicole was a stranger who had broken in, completely dismissing the fact that her own neighbor had extended the invitation on her behalf. Nicole was stunned, embarrassed, alone. Her antipasto was set down gently on a side table untouched. It became symbolic of her presence, brought in with care, left behind without acknowledgement. Nicole walked out that door with her pride in pieces. Her son was confused, too young to understand, but old enough to feel the humiliation his mother had just endured. And the other guests, silent, disengaged. Some averted their eyes. No one offered comfort or even asked if she was okay. The woman who had invited her seemed distressed but powerless. Nicole left, not just physically but emotionally. It was a public shaming masked as a misunderstanding. Later, when Nicole posted a video explaining her side of the story, she did it with composure. She did not attack, she did not name call, she simply told the truth. The Hicks family, instead of issuing a private apology, took to social media to defend their behavior. They claimed Nicole had shown up uninvited, that they simply did not know her, but this claim did not add up. Screenshots and text messages surfaced showing clear communication from the neighbor who had invited Nicole, proving the Hicks knew she was coming. That made the confrontation even more egregious. The internet took notice. Women, especially mothers, felt deeply connected to Nicole's story. The humiliation, the injustice, the silent judgment from onlookers, it all struck a chord. Comment sections were flooded with empathy and anger. People called the Hicks behavior not just rude, but xenophobic, classist, and deliberately isolating.
I'm not trying to home shame. I lived in a shed at one point. But don't come on here treating people and acting like you live in $1 million home, in a gated community, got to show photo ID at the booth to get in. Don't do that. Cause, and then, oh, they can drop the kid off. No, nobody's dropping their kid off here without meeting you or coming inside and checking first. Okay? Don't. You're giving off I'm better than you vibes, and you're not. I mean, this is like normal. Maybe a little below normal. I don't know. But it's definitely, you're not giving off the right vibes for this. Don't do that. That antipasto was probably the best thing this house has seen in a while.
But this wasn't where the story ended. It was only the beginning. Here's where the story takes an uglier and more unsettling turn. Instead of reflecting or even extending a basic courtesy in the form of a private apology, the Hicks chose to double down on denial, on deflection, and on passive-aggressive PR campaign aimed at preserving their image. And Nicole, she did not just deal with the internet backlash, she began to face hostility right outside her door. This wasn't abstract or hypothetical anymore. People she barely knew were approaching her in stores, side-eyeing her at school pickups, and offering not-so-subtle warnings. Be careful, watch your back. The whispers got louder repeatedly. She was told the same thing. The Hicks were connected, that they knew everyone who mattered in the Get City.
I also want to reiterate a few things from my point of view. I walked into that house and I shook Stasia's hand after I put down the salad, and I even told her name was pretty. Jake did walk past me and ignore me in the kitchen. I didn't know who he was. My bad. I do think that I'm going to get backlash for this, for posting my personal experience and opinion with these people in this town. I have a feeling that they're going to retaliate in real life kind of thing. I have been notified that I should be worried about a man named Jeff Eds, and that family, the Hicks family, knows everybody in this town, and I better watch my back.
That crossing them wasn't just about dealing with a rude neighbor, it could mean serious social consequences. For someone like Nicole, who just wanted peace and a sense of community, this felt like a psychological warfare. But the worst part, they did not stop at Nicole, they came for her son. He's a 4th grader, still forming opinions, still learning how to navigate the world, and yet, that did not stop someone from creating a burner account just to smear him. The account began spreading disturbing claims, calling the child racist, saying he had a history of troublemaking, and even suggesting Nicole was a negligent mother. All of it was done online, out in the open, in front of an audience that did not know the real story. The truth? One isolated school incident. Nicole's son, after being called a foreigner by another student, lashed out with "at least my parents aren't dumb." Not a proud moment, but also not a pattern. A reactive defense from a kid who was insulted first. He was immature, yes, but very human. That context, of course, was left out of the smear campaign.
It is what it is. What I find really weird is that they involved my child, and somebody from the school had tried to make him look bad, which is so weird to me because, first of all, he's a child, and second off, he was standing up for himself. I taught him that. I don't wish ill on them. I want them to stay as far away as possible from me. I will never step foot on their property again. I will never speak to them again, and I will never initiate any sort of contact. I want nothing to do with them. What they did was it sucked. And the behavior, as everybody has proved, was just not good. I have been guilty of being an asshole before. I mean, hello. I'm Italian. I'm a Sicilian. I definitely have had my fair share of fights and arguments and stuff, and I've been in the wrong so many times. I'm not perfect. I'm also, not ugly. Oh my gosh, my husband's sending me pictures. I don't base my worth on my looks, and I am totally fine with people thinking that I'm ugly. Cool. Like, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel good? I still have the kid at my house with my son, and honest to God, I am terrified to drop him off. Like, I really hope that the mother initiates and comes and picks him up. I probably will tell her that she has to do that, because Hicks house, his house, Hicks house. Like, I'm not putting myself in that vicinity. It seems dangerous. The video that they posted of me in the house, I mean, I don't really understand why they did that, because it kind of validates what I was saying, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, I really wish that they would have just did the right thing and, we could have moved on. This isn't my fault, and I'm not going to be gaslit into thinking that I did something wrong. Since all of this has happened, it's been literally impossible for me to focus and post the stuff that I love, like plants and herbalism, botany, my farm. I tried to sneak a couple things in there, but whatever. Thank you everybody for being so amazing to me. I have never felt this amount of love from anybody. Like, this is just, if I could thank you all personally, I've literally tried, but it's so many, and I'm going to keep posting my stuff, and hopefully, since now that I'm in the creator fund, like Stasia was so angry that I got in, even though I'm monetized on other platforms. Weird, right? Hopefully I'll be able to afford to buy another house elsewhere, far away from here, and we'll just rent this one out to good city folk.
Then came the threats. The Hicks know everyone in Get City. Be careful. Jeff Eds won't be kind if your followers keep sending hate. The use of Sheriff Jeff Eds' name was particularly chilling. A law enforcement figure now being weaponized as an intimidation tactic. Nicole's response was calm but cutting. Is this a threat? Because I sent no one. I don't know these people beyond one first name. And that is the key point. Nicole never disclosed full names, never dosed anyone, never tried to incite hatred. She shared her story. The Hicks chose to publicly identify themselves and then attempted to frame themselves as the victims of a social media witch hunt. Stacia Hicks did not reach out to Nicole privately. Instead, she released a video accusing Nicole of exploiting the situation for personal gain. She suggested Nicole's post was a calculated move to enter the TikTok creator fund and profit off the drama, but the internet's not buying it. In fact, Stacia's deflection only added more weight to Nicole's claims. Viewers saw through the performative indignation. Mothers in particular, those who knew the sting of judgment, the fear of being isolated in a new place, the heartbreak of seeing your child involved, rallied around Nicole. Her TikTok exploded from fewer than 10,000 followers to over 400,000 in a matter of days. Not because she asked for it, but because people saw the quiet strength she carried through all of this. Because the way she told her story, honest, restrained, and raw, made it impossible to look away. It wasn't about virality, it was about visibility. Nicole had been humiliated, threatened, and publicly gaslit. But she still chose transparency over vengeance. That is why people believed her, and that is why this story refused to die. Just when it seemed things couldn't get any more worse, any more absurd, Nicole's husband Chris became the next target in what now felt like a deeply personal and relentless campaign to dismantle their family's speed. It began on a seemingly ordinary afternoon. Nicole's son came home holding something odd, a business card he found on the ground outside, wedged against the door leading to their dog room. The card wasn't just any card, it belonged to a special agent named Jordan Slars. Nicole, always alert to new threats after everything they'd been through, immediately felt a chill. Who left this? Why now? And more importantly, why her house? Acting on instinct and caution, she called the agent. And in true Nicole fashion, she chose transparency, recording, and sharing the conversation to protect herself and keep everything in the light. But what the agent revealed was nothing short of disturbing. Agent Slars informed Nicole that the reason he had come around was to speak with her husband, Chris. The reason? A voicemail that had allegedly been left on Sheriff Jeff Ed's line, a voicemail filled with threats, vulgarity, and fury, and according to him, the voice matched Chris's profile. Nicole and Chris were stunned. They were allowed to hear the recording, but the moment it played, their confusion turned to disbelief, and then to laughter. Not the kind of laughter that comes from joy, but from sheer absurdity. The voice on the tape did not even sound remotely like Chris. The accent, the cadence, even the emotional tone, it was all wrong. The entire scenario felt scripted by someone who did not know Chris at all, but was desperate to pin something on him. This did not just feel off, it felt coordinated. Just days prior, Nicole had been repeatedly warned not to cross Sheriff Ed's. Now suddenly, a bizarre and anonymous voicemail surfaces with claims that her husband is threatening the very man whose name had been used as a warning.
Where did you say you found this?
On a window.
Downstairs by the dog room?
It was like on the door to the dog room.
Hi, Jordan Sluss left a card on my window today.
Okay.
In my house.
Sure. Yes, let me see if he's available.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Nicole?
This is her.
Hey, Nicole, how are you? I'm a special agent for state police. Originally went to your residence. That is where you live, ain't it? Huh?
I'm just listening. I'm waiting to see what you're saying.
Oh. Okay. I just want to talk to is it your husband, Chris?
So why would you like to talk to my husband?
There's a phone call made to the sheriff's office yesterday, and we just want to talk to him.
Okay, so what was the phone call in regards to?
It was just a threat, like, towards the sheriff.
So why does this involve my husband? Because my husband didn't call anybody.
Well, that's why we just talk. We don't know if it's him or not. We just...
My husband was at work, and I would highly suggest not accusing us of things that we didn't do unless you want a lawsuit.
Well, first of all, I'm not accusing.
Do you have the actual voice recording of the threat? Because my husband has a very distinctive voice.
Well, that's why we just want to talk. Talk to him because this guy also has a distinctive voice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it's him, that's why we just wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, let me go get him for you. Hold on 1 second. He's actually off today.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Chris, this is Special Agent Slug. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Well, I want to clear things up. You ain't been accused. We just want to talk to you about it.
Okay.
Like, somebody left the voicemail at the sheriff's office yesterday, pretty much threatening the sheriff. And, I mean, like your wife said, you do have a distinct voice, and the guy on the voicemail kind of went similar. I don't know you personally, so I can't really say it's your voice or not your voice. We just want to talk to you.
Yeah, no problem.
But, did you make any phone calls to the sheriff or?
Not at all.
You could actually check our phone records, but I'd be very, very careful of what you accuse us of.
Yeah, I can produce my phone records, and all I have is my cell phone and her cell phone and my son's cell phone, but no, I'm way too busy to be calling you guys and making threats. And honestly, I'm a truck driver and I have hazmat, so I'm not going to do anything stupid like that and put myself in a situation to lose my hazmat.
Like I said, you ain't been accusing of them. I mean, so it's just, you know, we hear one thing, we just follow up on it.
You know, it's very interesting because we hear one thing as well, and the fact that I was threatened with Jeff Eads is kind of disconcerting when all I did was go to a gathering where I was treated very horribly, and it went viral on the internet. I'm sure you're very aware of it.
I didn't do anything. Listen, I didn't do anything wrong. And to have that threatened when I don't even know anybody in the area is just kind of, I think it's
I'm talking to the sheriff, and he wants some parts of it, and I'm pretty sure he don't like that his name was thrown out at you.
I'm sure he doesn't.
As far as I know, he told the other parties involved that it's civil and there's nothing he can do. Pretty much, he hates that his name got thrown into it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah, no, I don't have anything to do with calling you guys, that's for sure.
Like I said, I know I've gone on TikTok myself and looked at some things, and we noticed that your voice was similar, so we just want to check it out and stuff. So that's all we
You
want
think
to hear.
is it because we have a northern accent or that he has a deep voice? Because I feel a little bit singled out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both. I'll play it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know Chris. I just heard him on the TikTok.
Yeah, I'd love you to play it. We're listening.
Okay. Maybe we'll go.
I'm sorry, I think I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I think it's pretty funny.
It's fine.
The timing was too neat, the implications too pointed. Nicole and Chris couldn't ignore the sinking feeling that this wasn't a random misunderstanding. It was a trap, a strategic move by someone or multiple someones to push their family to the brink. Nicole has since hired legal counsel and is preparing for any fallout, because at this point, nothing feels off the table. What began as a social slight at a neighborhood party has turned into what resembles institutional harassment. And now, the home she once loved, the charming farm she imagined raising her son on, is no longer safe. It's become a cage. She worries constantly, not just for herself, but for her child. She hesitates to let him walk to the neighbor's house. She's keeping him away from his best friend, not out of bitterness, but out of sheer fear. Fear that proximity to the Hicks could lead to more surveillance, more twisted accusations, or worse. What was once a peaceful home is now a place she scans constantly for signs of intrusion, manipulation, or retaliation. It is not just about online rumors or TikTok drama anymore. This is psychological warfare wedged under the guise of law and order. Nicole doesn't say this lightly. The system she thought would protect her may be turning against her. And for a mother who only wanted to settle into a peaceful life, that is the most painful betrayal of all. Several comments encapsulated the emotion behind the public reaction. File a complaint. Someone's leaking your child's school info. Sadly, the whole district protects each other. No one will help you. They acted like they lived in a mansion, but honestly, your anti-pastor had more elegance than the entire gathering. This all started with a mother walking into a house with a salad. That's it. And a kind gesture. A peaceful attempt to bond with her neighbors, and it unraveled into a complete nightmare. What does that say about the world we live in? It says that kindness is no longer met with decency, that sometimes even when you approach people with open arms and good intentions, they'll respond with coldness, superiority, and calculated cruelty. It speaks volumes about how tightly held power in small communities can be used not to protect you but to silence. How certain families use familiarity, privilege, and long-standing ties as weapons, not tools for peace. This story reveals something darker, how victims, especially women, especially mothers, can be turned into villains with a flick of a narrative. One moment you're humiliated at a gathering, the next you're accused of manipulating your way to attention. Even your silence, your grace, your refusal to retaliate can be used against you. Nicole did not retaliate by mocking appearances or homes. She never once insulted the Hicks' looks, income level, or even the condition of the house she was kicked out of, though others suddenly noticed. Instead, she focused on their behavior, their decisions, their failure to show basic human kindness. That distinction matters because in a world where clapbacks are the norm, Nicole chose restraint. And yet, what did she get in return? Accusations that she was clout chasing, that she was orchestrating all of these for followers and creator fan pennies, that she was a negligent mother, that her child, a literal fourth grader, was racist, that her husband was threatening law enforcement. It became a full-scale smear campaign. But Nicole did not fold. She did not lose her cool. She did not fall into the trap of rage bait or petty responses. She stayed grounded even as the ground beneath her shifted. That is not weakness, that is strength, that is dignity, that is composure in the face of everything designed to break her. And if anything, that quiet resilience, her decision to speak honestly but with grace, is why so many women stood with her. Because we've all been there. Maybe not chest from a party, but judged unfairly, talked about behind our backs, be blamed for our own gain, for our own pain, and told we were so emotional when we were finally there to speak up. That is why this story matters, because it isn't just about Nicole, it is about every woman who has been made to feel small, made to doubt her truth, made to carry shame that doesn't belong to her. Nicole's strength reminds us being quiet doesn't mean being weak, and choosing grace over vengeance, that is not passive, that is power. What do you think? Did this escalate too far, or was this always going to end like this once the Hicks chose hostility over humanity? Should Nicole move or fight to reclaim her peace? Leave a comment, like and subscribe, and remember, sometimes the loudest voices belong to those who've done the most wrong. Stay safe and stand up for those who don't have the power to fight back alone.